this entry, we're going to talk about I want to say it's a straight to Netflix film, I believe. I'm pretty sure because that's where I watched it. It came out yesterday, July 14th or 15th, whatever yesterday was. It's a film called Gunpowder Milkshake. Now, before you let that name kind of throw you off guard, even my wife, who doesn't follow films like that in a way, like I'll see trailers and I'll be like, "Oh, babe, did you watch that trailer?" And she's not interested in that kind of stuff. So I have been interested in this film for a long time. This was one of the films that I put on my trailer rundown a couple entries ago, and Gunpowder Milkshake is an interesting name, but it is a very, very good film because it has the type of action that you're kind of craving right now, and the story is pretty good. I originally thought that this was based on an anime or a manga or something that it was based in China or Japan or something. I didn't realize that it was kind of just its own story. It's not really based on the characters of anything, and that even makes it more enjoyable because it's a very unique take on, say, something that's in the John Wick realm. And I know a lot of people were saying that the main actress, Karen Gillian, is like the female John Wick. I'm not going to say it goes that deep because it's a lot more fun than a John Wick film. Not in the sense that John Wick films aren't fun, but I'm saying fun in the lack of such seriousness. Like, it has its more comedy background than John Wick does. Like, John Wick would be a serious, assassin killer kind of film, and this is assassin killer kind of film, but with a lot more comedic presence in a way. It follows the story of this young girl assassin whose mother was an assassin and taught her everything she knew, and when her mother disappeared, she becomes the new girl on the block almost, and she's known throughout their little realm and whatnot, which again, it sets up an environment that's very similar to the John Wick world, where you have the place where all the assassins stay that they can't kill anybody on. You have the people you work with, and you have your certain currency system. This place, they're like, "Oh yeah, we're the firm. We hired you to do a job, get the money back or whatever." And then, "Oh, where do you get guns? You get guns from the librarians." So the librarians are very much the center focus of the story. The firm is kind of in the background, which kind of tells me that, okay, this might lead into a sequel. Because, of course, we're talking about a film that's very similar to John Wick in a way that the story isn't about, oh, they killed her dog, but, she has more of a heart than another assassin would. So her goal was to get back money that was stolen from them by one of their accountants or something. So she goes to the guy, she tracks the guy down, she goes to him, she finds the money, she goes to kill him, but she's like, "You know what, I'm not in the mood of killing anybody right now. You can leave," or whatever. And he's like, "I can't leave." And then a phone starts ringing, and she winds up shooting him anyway. And then she learns that the guy stole the money because somebody kidnapped his daughter. So he stole the money to pay them off so he can get his daughter back. And so she's like, damn it, because she has a heart. So what does she wind up doing? She winds up going to get the daughter back, and she takes the money with her to kind of trick the ransomers into giving her the kid back anyway, which is a bit of a plot hole. I would have just taken the money out of the suitcase and just made it easier and just let them get away with the suitcase and maybe have that be part of the story. But unfortunately, she didn't do that. So the money winds up getting destroyed. And of course that leaves her down this triangle of she disobeyed orders, she didn't get the money back, now the firm goes after her. And so she's trying to save herself and protect this kid who she killed her father basically, and it's this whole running antics of action and chasing and all these characters that get involved that all have these different I don't want to say how can I explain this? So there's a guy who's like the main, not bad guy, but like, well, I mean, he's a bad guy, but like he's against the firm, like he doesn't work with the firm, and he's got little minions as well that he's like, okay, go find this girl or whatnot, and even the firm sends little minions. I think she calls them boneheads or something, and all these little minions are going after her before it eventually leads into a big showdown with the actual boss. And the actual boss is like, you killed my only son. I had 6 daughters and 1 son, and it's like, Jesus, dude, like really, like you still have 6 daughters. Like your son was in the wrong place at the wrong time, but you know you're a big boss man. You wanna be an asshole and kill this girl who basically has proven on more than one occasion that she can take on more than enough of your guys and come out successful. You want to still say you want to torture her and shit? All right, if that's what you're trying to do, makes sense. So I don't want to give too much of the climax away because I do want people to watch it. I do think it's worth it. I think that we should get more of this film in this universe. I think it does warrant a sequel. The story, the plot, and the characters. I haven't seen Karen Gillan in much besides the Jumanji films, and the fact that it's not even just her. It's Lena Headey, who most people might recognize from Game of Thrones. She played Cersei. It's also I'm gonna butcher your last name. I'm so sorry, Carla Gugino, who a lot of people will recognize from a bunch of different things. She's in a lot. What can I think of off the top of my head to kind of give you the feel of what she's in? I mean, if you've seen the movie, you recognize the actors and the actresses. It's got Paul Giamatti. Everybody knows who Paul Giamatti is, you know, from all of his films as well. Like whether it's a main role or just a side character, you've seen him in more than enough films to know who that is. So what's something that you've probably seen? She was in Sin City. That's the only thing I think of off the top of my head. What else? Oh, she played the mother of the new in the Watchmen. In the Watchmen, there's 2 Silk Spectres. One is the older one, and the newer one that the film really focuses on. The older mother one, that's who another character that this actress has played. So that's who Carla Gugino has played. Then, you know, Michelle Yeoh, who is fantastic in tons of different action films. It's so good to see her in a film again. I feel like I haven't seen her in a film in so long, and it's really, really nice to see her again. I know her from films like the Crouching Tiger film, Super Cop with Jackie Chan. She's just fantastic. And then, of course, you got Angela Bassett, who, by all means, is a tremendous actress. Everything she touches is gold, and it's great to see her in a role like this where it's not something that's too serious, and I don't think she takes it too seriously. It's got a fantastic leading woman role film. I think it is a portrayal of this story that is done super, super well. I don't think they could have done anything differently. I do hope it gets a sequel. If you haven't sat through it yet, I really, really suggest sitting down, giving it a chance if you have Netflix. If you don't and you have other ways to watch it, by all means, go for it. This film does deserve some recognition. It is really a good film to kind of, I don't know, I guess peak summer action films. You know, we had Black Widow that just came out, and then we have the Snake Eyes film that's coming out. We have tons of action films that are in the works, and for this to be part of that pool, it definitely puts the pedestal of whether or not the films of this summer are going to be good or bad, leaning more towards the good. This is, to me at least, this is a very, very good action film for the summer, and it's a very enjoyable film with a lot of different things that give it its uniqueness while still having a familiarity that you can accept and say, okay, this isn't too much like another film. Even though you have these feelings of like, yeah, I can see that this is from this or this is from that, it's not oversaturated with too many things that aren't meant to make it stand out. It stands out all on its own. At least to me it does. And again, it might just be that it was seeing a lot of these characters put together in the way that they were that made me really enjoy the film. And I'm not going to sit here and say that it's going to win any awards. Not saying that it deserves to win any awards. I'm just saying it deserves recognition, and it deserves to be kind of, given the popularity that it should have to warrant this film getting recognized as a really good film of the summer, a really good action film of this summer. So it's got my recommendation. I'm pretty sure it's got a lot of other people's recommendation. It's only been out for a day. If you haven't heard about it, or if it just popped up on your main Netflix feed and you kind of passed it by because the name is weird, by all means, sit down, give this film a chance. I'm telling you, you will not regret it.